Hi, I'm Catherine, the creator of Shia and the Jetsons Community Preservation of the Promised Land. I'm here to show you how the United States Congress, mayors, and all of the governors is openly admit that through the History Channel, through their Congress archives, that they came here as criminals walking on all fours. They came here with guns, shooting us and killing us. And this is what they're saying through their Congress archives to let everybody know what happened to us, what happened to the indigenous copper colored people in America. And uh, here through the History Channel, it shows who, like Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone, who they uplift, came here to our country to invade and murder us. So this is how I was able to confiscate my own property and my own land through the city mayor's office because they're the criminals. So I showed you how I confiscated my building. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. I claim my land through the city mayor's office, letting them know what they did to me and that I'm indigenous to Chino, California, because I showed you videos about that. Showed women that look just like me in Chino, California, where they removed us from. So I'm here claiming my land. I already did that. And so, but I'm just showing you how uh, time is going forward, moving forward to where they're all being exposed and they're exposing themselves because they have to expose themselves because they're criminals. They can't stay in office as the city mayor and be criminals. They can't do that. So this is what they're showing you through the History Channel, what they did to us and how they removed us from our homes. And they're talking about this. It was the Black Boy Uprising in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Chicago, how they removed us from California.
Previously on The Men Who Built America, Frontiersmen.
Oh, okay, now the white people in here are bona fide liars when they're talking about things that they're saying like, that the country is theirs when it's not, and they said the men who built America. No, it's the criminals who came here as real literal parasites, literal like human parasites that came over here and destroyed and invaded us. So none of you white people created America or built America. So just know that.
Brave pioneers like Daniel Boone.
You're not brave. You're a coward. I mean, you're a parasite.
Blazed a trail into the wilderness, moving west to fulfill a dream. They fought to forge a new nation, the United States of America. Now, the young country must hold its ground.
Okay, well, hold its ground to what? See, if you fight for a new nation, what was yours before? So what do you mean new nation? Did you hear what it said? It said that they were fighting for a new nation. Why is it new? That means you can't you invaded something. So it's new to you because the land is new. So you're forging and invading land that's new. So if it's new to you, then you have to go back to where you came from. All the city mayors have to go back because you just said it. You said you forged a new, meaning that you came here as criminals.
Survive.
That's Daniel Boone, right? Davy Crockett. They uplift Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone because they're the ones that shot us out of our homes. They came in. So this is how I'm able to confiscate my building because they have the evidence that they're showing us how they removed us from our homes. And because of that, they made a treaty, which means that they were begging, please, please, please let me have some of your land. Here's my treaty that I wrote. So we're like, we don't want your treaty. And they said 640 acres is yours. 640 acres means it's a whole, a complete state city. It's not an area. We're talking about 640 acres countrywide, meaning as far as the eye can see, you're in a city. So each copper-colored person, indigenous here, owns a city. That's why I'm here and I claimed my city, Chino Hills, Yeah, Chino Hills too, right here. Anyway, but no, but right here, 640 acres to 3,000 acres is what I claim through the city mayor's office, and I rightfully bid it for the land right here, and they illegally gave me an eviction notice for me to move out. But of course, they just have to get out of the office. Don't get mad because I claim the land. Just get the fuck out of the office. Because nobody's thinking about your damn illegal eviction where it doesn't hold any weight. It just shows you how you have to go to prison. Your eviction shows how you have to go to prison immediately. That's all it's showing. Because you're a criminal. And you just showed yourself right here. See, it says the men who built America. They didn't build anything. They stole it. So everything that they. That's why whatever they say, everything is a lie and it doesn't matter because they're just liars who are on your land and they stole everything. And it's up to you to claim it, like I did. I claim my land, and this is my land. And what's happening is that they're being removed anyway. No matter what happens, they're being removed. So no matter how they slice it, they're just being removed.
The American Revolution has been over for 9 years, but the frontier remains a war zone.
Okay, now these are the $5 Indian that's crawling on all fours right now. They're doing battle with the other invaders. So these are two invaders. The $5 Indians came in with teepees on their backs from underneath Russia. They came from like Mongolia and Russia, and they invaded California and our states in Canada and our countries in Canada to North and South America. These $5 Indians did. When they settled on the land, they were met up by a greater enemy, which is the white race, right? So both of them were never supposed to be on the land, and that's why they're battling each other uh, from the beginning because the $5 Indians came on their backs with the teepees. They're homeless while we were in castles. So while this was happening and we were in our cities, this was in the country land, like in Lancaster, California. They were shooting it out in Lancaster and Sun Village, right over there. This is where all the Western movies were filmed at. But the $5 Indians met up with the greater evil, which is the white race, and they were both battling because both are never supposed to come here and invade our land in North and South America. So they're always going to be at war till this very day. That's why, and the $5 Indians are the same people as the Mexicans and the Chinese, so Asian Chinese. Okay, and what are they doing right now? All of them right now are battling each other through this virus thing because they have this what do you call it, fungus virus in their bodies that they've always had, and they brought it over here, and now they've been turning us into like a zombie virus, if you will. It's like they make you stay in the house for 50, 60 years. You don't do anything. You're okay with the clone cities, and you're a fungus virus living in one house. Watch The Last of Us, please. It's very important because they're talking about you. That they made everybody stay in one house, one apartment, and maybe be homeless. How we were living, and we couldn't move around like we used to. Remember, we used to visit our families because states was never separate. It was never United States. It was just united a country. The country was from Choctaw was Mississippi. Mississippi Choctaw was my father's from my tribe is Mississippi Choctaw from my father's side. But that was Florida, Tennessee to Tennessee to Texas. And then and so we were all together with California, Washington, Oregon. From Canada, it was other tribes that was together. But you guys separated that and made it separate states because you were fighting for territory because you guys were the invaders. And you separated it and now you invaded
like other
it.
Native American leaders, Shawnee War Chief Tecumseh has watched thousands of pioneers surge into his homeland. And
he watched thousands surge in where you coming from? See, they're coming from somewhere. Because if the white people were already here, then obviously they would have been in castles like we had in Ireland and in England. We had castles there. The Vatican was built by a black woman because the black woman ruled first. We gave birth to the men, so the men were babies while we were all grown, giving birth to everybody. Men and women. So we birthed out the men. So we're the ones that had the castles first and the palaces and things. We were on the throne first because we gave birth to everybody. So when they came here, they met up with the invaders because they're the invaders. Both are invaders, both. And what are they doing now? They're battling to this day. Both are battling.
now
So
he's fighting back.
The Americans continued to push the frontier. The pressure was on the Indians to move and get out of the way. The frontiersmen were out there trying to scrape out a living, trying to get rich, taking land. The Indians did what any person does to defend your homeland and your life.
okay, let's repeat that because this is a white man in Congress saying he would have done anything. He would have done what any person would have did to defend his life, to defend his land. You see, this is a congressman saying this, a historian.
Trying to scrape out a living, trying to.
Here, let me just turn it up.
Continued to push the frontier. The pressure was on the Indians to move and get out of the way. The frontiersmen were out there trying to scrape out a living, trying to get rich, taking land. The Indians did what any person does to defend your homeland and your life.
Okay, he said he said that they did anything like anybody would have did to defend their homeland and their life. This is a congressman, historian congressman in history. Okay, so what that means is that the city mayor, Eunice, the old hag in there, I told you that I rightfully bid it for the land, so it's just a matter of time before you have to be removed. Because you have to be removed. Why? Because I told you I bid it for this land, and you don't give me no eviction notice. You simply give me the letter of congratulations saying, yes, congratulations, Catherine, you did rightfully bid for the land, it's yours, and contractors within a week will be right there to contact you to help set up your development. That's it. I'm supposed to get a letter of congratulations. Congratulations, Catherine, you did. You rightfully bid it for the land, and it is yours because you're indigenous, and we know that you're indigenous. See, the city mayor knows that. And they all stand as criminals. Cockeyed Shelly, Man-Faced Karen, all them bitches in the Chino, California city mayor's office. That office is technically mine. Technically. I'm not saying like to say that to be, facetious or try to say it to be mean or just, no, I'm saying it like technically the land here, the brick and mortar to make this building is mine. And it's any copper-colored woman or man who claims their rightful land, just like he just said. So I'm defending myself when cockeyed Shelly and Danielle Cursor with her ching chong ass try to send an eviction notice to my home. I'm in my right to say that your sheriff will die trying to evict me. He's going to be in his rightful place 6 feet under. So you don't send nothing over. You just mind your own business and send me that congratulations letter. That, yes, Catherine, you rightfully bid it for your land. Congratulations. That's it. And then you have to send the contractors out, hand over the $5 to $50 million like you always do your people to create all the communities that we live in today. This is how you do it. A person would bid for a abandoned building or something, which is good. You're going to fix it up. And then you take it to the city mayor's office and you say, I would like to bid for this building here. It's an eyesore. I want to fix it up. So then they would have to give you $5 to $50 million to fix it up. And that's what they've been doing. This is why Martin Luther King was saying, hey, I come to pick up my check. So the question, this is how these people are monsters. They put Martin Luther King's head on the mantle in the Oval Office to honor him, but they don't do anything that he said. They don't honor nothing that he said. This is why everybody in the city mayor office have to die in the worst way possible, because this is what you've been doing to us. Okay? You're showing yourself as you crawling on all fours, and we can see here with the $5 Indians. Trump told you that you are not Indians. The Indians don't even look like Indians. So these $5 Indians ain't the real Indians. They not me. You are not my bloodline. I am the real original. You are calling us Indians, okay? But I'm just saying that my people is from Mississippi Choctaw Nation. So I don't, Iroquois, Blackfoot, all that Indian. You got that from India. So because black people is in India, and you thought we were them, but we're indigenous everywhere. Because you people are so sick. You can't just fathom that we're from Ireland. We're from everywhere. We're from Asia. The gods came out of Asia, and that means Hawaii, and that means California. Okay, so Asia is California. Hawaii, same thing. Hmm. Okay, why are they fighting for their life? Because they're on land and they're not supposed to be on. They're on land that they're not supposed to be, and that's why they're always gonna fight. They're never gonna be peace with them. Never. You never have peace. As long as you are on land that's not yours, you will always be fighting for your life. Now you fight the virus from within, and that's divine intervention doing you in on that. And shout out to Enter the Stars.
The Shawnee are one of over 20 tribes in the Ohio Territory. Part of the area surrendered by the British in the Treaty of Paris, which ended the American Revolution.
Okay, Ohio Territory. So Ohio Territory is where, I was hearing where they was, doing the child trafficking, and when you child trafficking, they take you straight to Ohio. Why? Because that's where the bona fide criminals are at. That's where it started at, is Ohio, Chicago, Michigan, right here. And this is where all of the roots and the evil roots that they established, it's infested. We are infested full of people who are literal like human parasites. And Enter the Stars it breaks that down. Watch his video. I'll leave a link. It's all about human people that are walking around that look normal, like these white people, that they're real. They're not human. They're parasites. Like they're virus. Not virus. Fungus. Excuse me. Fungus. Please watch The Last of Us. Watch The Last of Us. This is what. Well, not me, because I'm aware. But if you're not aware, then you are the clickers. The clickers are people who stay in homes or apartments for 50, 60 years, and they're okay with it. Watch the movie The Matrix. Trinity had Neil in the car, and they were trying to wake him up. And she said, Neil, stop. You know that road. You know exactly where it ends. You know where it goes. So why you finna go down that road? Just listen to me. I'm gonna wake you up. And what she was really trying to say was that if you want to get the beast off your back, you got to go to your local city mayor's office. I know that sounds crazy, but that's really basically where the Matrix begins, and that's where it began. That's who removed us from our homeland. The Matrix started in 1830 when they removed us from our homeland. 1776 they were battling the $5 Indians. Then they got to us in the 1830s and then removed us, scattering us everywhere and saying, oh, well, now you have 640 acres to you, which is more than that. But they're just giving you a roundabout estimate of what we are owed. 640 acres, that's why I claimed it here, because 640 acres, and with really 3,000 acres. All that means includes this, the apartment complex, the housing unit, the college right here is all mine. Yes, it is. It's all mine, and I claimed it, and this is it. So this is where I claimed it. And what's happening is that right now is that, I'm not going to say lawsuits are being filed, but it's where they can't they can't evict me out of my home. So if they can't evict me, then they have to go. Eventually, they're gonna have to get out of office. That's what's really happening, and the push is happening on their own. So the mayor's people, their own people in office, will end up pushing her out of office. So the people that are outside of the office, that are working in Congress or whatever, they're going to eventually get these people out what they, and we supposed to have the land that we supposed to have. Eventually they will be out. So if you claim your land in your state and they refuse to give you your land, don't worry. Don't even worry about it because you're going to get it anyway. You're going to get your land. Just stay right where you're at because I'm not moving nowhere. I claim my land. I'm good. I just know that they're leaving. I don't know. Well, I do know how they're leaving, but their own people in Congress or outside of Congress, meaning that something on the outside of a force that's coming to move them, they're going to come. They're going to remove them from office. An outside force is coming. You should get this book. It kind of explains a little bit like about that. So it kind of explains what's coming and stuff like that. But also too, since we're going into like kind of like we're not going to war, but they're going to war, and the grocery stores won't be available because why are they going to war? Because this is not their land. Get this book. This is a for herbal medicine. Now that means that you can pick anything outside here and then compare it and read it here, and you'll find out whether you can eat it or not. Because like I said, the grocery stores are going to be shut down because they have to go. So if they have to go, they're shutting it down to make everybody suffer, but nobody's going to suffer but them because they're the ones that have to leave. They do. That's just what it is. They have to go because it's not their land. No $5 Indian, Mexican, Chinese is indigenous to this land. No, of course, no white person. But none of you guys are indigenous to the land, so that's why you're at war. That's why you hear Russia and China and South America. Yeah, because you're not indigenous to the land, you have to go, and you're leaving by your own ignorance. See, divine intervention has you. The matrix has you. So no matter what you do or say or try to fight back, you're still gonna lose. It's just no winning.
Running on milk.
You can't win in nothing that you're doing.
Cashew milk. I didn't know cashew was milk. My most important kitchen tool.
So
My brain. So I choose.
okay, so get this book.
Unlike some others, the Reba. But it's land that Native Americans have claimed for generations.
The key provision of the Treaty of Paris is that the British have to leave the Midwest, giving this huge territory over to the Americans.
Listen, the British were here and they had to leave. Remember Paul Revere and the British? Because Paul Revere's bloodline was these people here who viciously killed the British that was coming to kill them because they were parasites. And they ran upon these Indians here. And so it was like the British parasites with the white worst parasites here with these $5 Indians all doing battle then till this day right now. So you got Putin, you got Democrats and Republicans fighting all each other. It's like a psycho. Now all of this is happening while we were in our homes, in our castles. We were in castles. We weren't in teepees. We weren't in we were in castles, okay? So and so all of that was fighting. They were fighting, and this is our downfall, is that we didn't get rid of all of them. And what we did was we sat up there and went in. No, the Buffalo Soldiers. Did you know that they recruited the Buffalo Soldiers to kill us? The Buffalo Soldiers was not our friend. Those were our enemies, because I'll show you a link there. They were with the white people. The Buffalo Soldiers were with the white people. Obviously, they were in the army. So if you're in the army and you go into the army with the white people, who you fighting on this land? When it was nothing but black people, and copper-colored people like me, who you fight? You was fighting us. Because you wasn't fighting the Indians. They already killed the Indians already. This happened in 1765 where they were battling the Indians. They already pushed them up back in the reservation. So who was the Buffalo Soldiers fighting on this land? When we were everywhere, you were going into our castles in 17 and 1800s, and then you burned down our castles because I showed you in this other video.
You still have, of course, the Native American tribes who were not party to the treaty and who were not about to just accept all these Americans flooding over the Appalachian
And
Mountains.
he calls them Americans. He calls the white people Americans. No, you're not Americans. You're strangers. Strangers and foreigners. Uh, Actually, you're British prisoners. You guys, white people came here as British prisoners. And if you see Dane Calloway's video, shout out to Dane Calloway, he shows, I mean, ships and ships of white people packed like sardines coming over here by the millions. So it's you guys who, so when he says Americans, no, you guys were strangers, foreigners. You guys were, like human parasites coming over here, because a parasite is when you see people that are already here and then you remove them, and then you remove some of them, and then you move in with them, and then you destroy them from within. From right now, you have you're the city mayor, and you're creating clone cities, and now the majority of the people are clickers in houses. Oh, and they're okay with it, meaning that you guys are okay with one house, looking at sports, looking at this thing called sports and entertainment, and you're okay with paying bills on your own land, and paying for food and water on your, paying for your own resources that's yours. Like you're suffering, you're going to work for nothing to pay for your own things is insanity. You can't go to work and pay for your own things because it's yours. Their law is a parasitic law that feeds off you. So what I'm saying is that when they invade when they invade our land, they're feeding off of us by making us pay for rent that's already, we're paying rent and mortgage payments on a place that's already ours, right? So these are parasites. I can't say what they're not. I can only say what they are based on their actions. So the city mayor that knows for a year and a half that I bidded for the land, and the bitch still says nothing. The old hag in the mayor's office doesn't say a thing, but she goes in and goes against me, and have the manager, housing manager, to give me an illegal eviction notice. You can't give me an eviction notice. You just simply have to get the fuck out of the office, you old hag.
Tecumseh spent his whole life fighting American expansion.
Yeah, because it's not your land.
He was raised by legendary Shawnee warrior Chief Blackfish,
Yeah,
who died fighting as a British ally.
British ally. Listen, these are Indians fighting with British allies because you are $5 Indians warring with each other on land that's not yours. So you're always going to die here because this is not your land. You have to go back to where you came from, and I showed you where that was at, where Congress shows how you guys come from. It's underneath Russia, Mongolia, and you killed the live caribou, alive, and then you drank the blood, and you drink their blood. Like, I showed you video on that. Just look at my videos, and you will see where it says the Indians are vampires because their diet is raw meat and blood. So they'll cut the cow or whatever, and they'll eat it right there. So they won't cook it. They'll drink the blood and eat it right there raw. Okay, so if all those people migrated here, what do you think they're going? Yeah, that's who created adrenochrome and all that, and all That's why 34,000 black women and children come up missing. Okay, because they're not human. Yeah, I'm just saying they're not human. Because obviously you can see the results of the old hag in the mayor's office, where I just simply bidded for the land right here, right? And then in the appeal I said, well, if this is not available, is there any other areas that I saw right here? I would like to bid for that. And they didn't say anything. So this is my land that they know it. And when I even offered, like, okay, well, maybe this isn't available. you try to reason with these parasites and they still are like, I don't want to say anything because I'm just waiting for you to get out. See? Because you're a parasitic bitch. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to say, I'm just saying. I don't like to cuss because I don't it's just I'm just saying because it's something it's not it's something wrong with you. It's just what you are. So it's not like, oh, it's something wrong with that crazy old mayor. Is she crazy? No, it's not that. She's not crazy. She's just a parasite.
The revolution.
A human parasite. Like, I'm serious. All of them. All of them. Think about that. I'm sorry. I'll leave a link. I just want to just get this out. Think about it. Even when you think about Governor Gavin Newsom, when he calls out for reparations, that's a good thing he's doing. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you're still trying to figure it out, huh? Yeah, you still can't get it, huh? Reparations is about allowing the indigenous copper-colored people to confiscate their own home and building. When they confiscated, they would confiscate it to where what I'm doing. They would discover, ooh, I would like to fix up this abandoned building here. So then they would, but see, this would have to be announced through the city mayor and the governor for you guys to do it this way, or you would have to actually contact me so that I can fulfill what needs to be fulfilled because you guys don't know how to do it, or you would have done it already 400, 200 years ago. But what you do is you just actually get in contact with me basically because I'm the one that creates the economic service and transportation service that allow each and every copper colored person to have their motorhome coach 2019 to 2022 23 motorhome coach vehicle with their resort home that they would be able to travel to 7 to 13 different community areas in their community area in each state to visit their family, loved ones, cousins, friends, to see how they're doing, to whatever. So this is what we were doing before you invaded our country. We were, we had, we taught ourselves about herbs and about what to eat and what not to eat. You see, we had, this is the book you guys need to get. We had our own tree. We lived in our own tree. We had tree houses, big, huge tree houses that we lived in. Look at the Lord of the Rings. They got a city of a tree that is. So all of the movies that they have that's like fantasy fulfilled, like the way that it looks like all fantasy, it was really real. That was really our shit. So they stole our shit and they made it into movies. So you have parasites that do what they do. So you don't really get angry at it. You just have to remove it. Because if you don't remove it from office, then it's just going to keep removing you.
Childhood was nothing short of traumatic. In the attacks by whites, he lost his father and his infant brother at a very early age. He was constantly moving to try to avoid attack.
I'm going to leave a link so you can see it. I want to say some other stuff, but I'll let you watch it.
At the age of 10, he was taken into Blackfish's family and treated as a foster son.
So the $5 Indian went in with the white people trying to remove us from our homes.
Then the loss of Blackfish was the loss of yet another father figure and yet another hero.
Determined to force settlers out of Ohio, Tecumseh joins warriors from over a dozen tribes in guerrilla attacks along the frontier.
Okay, so they were removing settlers. Settlers are the parasitic people, the fungus, the clickers. White people are the clickers. Trust that, believe that, just know it. You already know that the clickers. They came in and invaded. Well, the Indians are removing them, the settlers, out of the lands in Ohio, Chicago, and all that. And they should have kept going. That was the problem. You didn't keep going with it. And then it caught up to us. And when it caught up to us, that's when the Gullah Wars came about, to this very day. So, so that's why I'm saying I claim my land and I already did what I had to do. So it's just a matter of time. Oh, I want to show you guys somebody you need to see. He's running for presidency. This one right here. He says all the right things you need to hear. His name is Robby Wells.
Hello, dear ladies and gentlemen. Can you imagine how terrifying it is when a massive torrent of water suddenly rushes into your house and leaves nothing behind? When your child is swept away by a flood right in front of your eyes. On his way to school, waves take him out of the car. How does it feel to realize that you and your whole family must evacuate at any moment, leaving everything you've been living with behind? These are the fears and realities that millions of Californians face right now.
That's right.
Because of a series of abnormal storms, California is in a state of emergency. More than 30 million people are at risk, and entire cities are being evacuated. Can you imagine your city being hit by the worst blizzard ever? Your house with no electricity, no water because the pipes are ruptured. It's minus 40 degrees outside. You see nothing but snow, and your car skids on ice. And you can lose control and crash at any moment. That's the harsh reality that residents of the U.S. East Coast experienced to the fullest extent during the holiday season. And do you know what it means to live in constant fear and expectation that a devastating hurricane or tornado can come to your house at any moment and take your life and the lives of your loved ones?
But that's been happening. A whole flood came over and took us and swept us away. You know, the Trail of Tears. That was us. So a flood came in. That's what the harder they fall. That's talking about where the flood came in and removed us. So he's talking about a similar thing here. But anyway, I'm gonna leave a link. I'm just gonna cut this video short. But I want you to hear what he has to say, because what he was saying, it just, to me, it just made sense. So, you know.
And residents of Florida, Alabama, Kentucky, and other U.S. states know what it's like right now. And these climate disasters have occurred in the U.S. in just the last 2 months, right before our eyes. Many Americans are caught unprepared by the climate Cerberus, unprotected and unwarned. Our meteorologists are unable to alert us in a timely manner. Our emergency services can't handle the strain. And as we can see, our government does not protect us in any way, nor offers any guarantees of safety.
They don't.
People are abandoned to their fate on a massive scale.
Yeah.
And all of us Americans, the one mighty nation, are now in the crosshairs of devastating and unprecedented climatic cataclysms. In fact, we are in mortal danger. So what's next? Are we going to watch as one by one U.S. states go underwater, are burned by fires, or are wiped off the face of the earth by hurricanes?
That's people.
After all, this is not a problem of one state or another. It is a problem of our entire nation. And I'll even say more. It is a worldwide problem. Why? I had the privilege of participating in the international online forum, Global Crisis, Our Survival is in Unity, which was simultaneously interpreted into 150 languages around the world. And I carefully studied the facts and research presented here by an international group of scientists on the cause of accelerating global catastrophes. I know these people, and I understand what they are talking about. These international studies make it clear that what is happening to the climate now is just the beginning. The frustrating progression of cataclysms worldwide indicates that the situation is about to worsen much more rapidly. And this means that more critical anomalies, destructive hurricanes, earthquakes, floods, and unforeseen activations of volcanoes are something that we as humanity will be facing very soon in the coming years. We as a civilization have a maximum of 10 years to live. 10 years at the most, and that's it. Are you ready to die in 10 years? Climate has cornered us all today. And clearly, no one is really addressing the issue right now. Trillions of dollars have been spent to combat climate change over the last 40 years. So, has anything changed? Yes, it has changed. Climate disasters have started to gain momentum. And no method in today's consumer society can solve this problem. Because human life in our world is worthless. It plays no one and no role. Only money and power play a role. What does our science look like now? The protection of the private interest of a select few. And to effectively respond to the climate challenge, we need the most potent unification of minds from around the world. But this is impossible as long as we have wars. In the consumerist format, we will not be able to find a way out. And this all leads us to a tragic end. Either Biden and Putin will kill us soon with a nuclear blast, or we will die in worse conditions because an atomic strike is quick. But the climate will torment us for at least several years while we slowly die off. During a race for the presidency of the United States, you will see all the candidates promising you to end crime, inflation, unemployment, child homicide, migration, and climate change. But in fact, no one will ever be able to end it in the current consumerist format. The wars will continue. The violence in society will only increase, and you will continue to be robbed and made poor. Why? Because in the modern consumerist format of society, there is always someone who benefits from it. There are always those whose power is above the people. No one will be able to end this mess in the economy or domestic politics. No one can, because they don't know how.
See?
But I know how.
I do too.
So I stand before you today to announce my candidacy for President of the United States of America. And you know why I am confident that I will succeed? Because my platform is the creative society. It's your bright, free, secure future. And it's one that millions of people around the world already support. And I will not be building the creative society alone. I will be building it not even with millions, but with billions of people. What is a creative society? It is a society where human life is valued above all else, where there is no power of the few over the majority, where all the power belongs to the people. It is a society where there are no enemies and no wars. And so only in a creative society is it possible to unite the world's scientific potential and provide a solution to the climate problem and guarantee the safety of Americans and all people on the planet. Unlike the other candidates who will resist this, who go into a position of power to manipulate, rule the nations, and save their own asses, I go to save humanity. You can put my words in the bank, and they will yield you dividends. I can end all mess once and for all, end wars, and make the world beautiful, peaceful, and prosperous by building a creative society.
Yeah, and that symbol right there shows it that that symbol right there, the circle with the triangle and the eight in there, and that shows that it it's a different symbol where it looks like it would work. It would help mankind uh, be in the smart cities, which is wonderful. Because these are the cities that are not going this way. On the land that's covering everything, but these cities are going upward. And these are beautiful cities. So mankind would be in those while making room for nature. Where we'll be at, nature in our, promised land area. So this is really a really good thing here.
If I become president, you will all live a life you never dreamed of. It's a world that not even science fiction writers have written about.
Really?
Free energy, free health care at the highest level for everyone, free education, and no taxes for small and medium-sized businesses, and no taxes for individuals.
Ooh.
Yes, many people will say it's fantasy and can't be, but I say it's real. I guarantee every American an unconditional basic income of $10,000 a month. There will be no inflation. And even more than that, I guarantee that once we move into the creative society, all debt will be canceled. And of course, there will be no utility bills, no energy bills, and everyone is guaranteed free housing.
You own
The
your
creative society is a whole different world,
Ooh.
built on the value of human life. And because of this, we will quickly fix and resolve all climate issues. I'm the only one who can do it because I have the creative society behind me. Now, I've decided to run for president as an independent candidate.
Ooh, good.
Because I can't run from just one part of the American people. I can't divide the country. I want to unite it. I'm sorry, but right now in America, party affiliation is akin to religion. If born into a Republican family, you have to be a Republican. If born into a Democrat family, you have to be a Democrat. And it can get pretty idiotic sometimes.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Who has not seen this phenomenon where people stop communicating and friendships when they learned that they had different political views? I am for a united party, united Americans, united America. And that says it all. And I'm for bringing the nation together, and I'm all for this being the last election of politicians in America, because there shouldn't be any politicians.
See?
They are the ones who are ruining you and destroying you. No one has done more damage to you than politicians. When a politician speaks on your behalf, he is simply manipulating your opinion. And even if the majority disagrees with him, there's nothing you can do. We elected him.
See?
And he does what he wants to you.
Mm-hmm.
We can't even punish him. And when you, the people, have power, you are the ones who decide. And that's why I'm running for president, to give you your power back. By supporting me, you're supporting yourself in the first place, not some candidate. Don't give your power over yourself to anyone else. You must keep the power, and I will be the guarantor of that.
Oh.
We all deserve to live in a society with self-government that allows us to make our own decisions and determine our own destinies. I am running for president of the United States of America.
Okay. So he just said that. So the reason why I like to hear what that part is because, like just when you go to even Trump and you say, hey, I need help. I need you to get this woman out of office. This is the one you have to go to like that because he's saying it. that I'm here for you. So if you're having problems with some old hag in the city mayor's office, he's gonna get her out. That's why because Trump, he can't do that. He can't. It's something, because he don't have that symbol right here. He doesn't even know what that is probably. But he comes from the creative society, and you've never seen it before, and he just came out of nowhere. So basically, it's an inner earth. Comes from the inner earth. Ooh, uh, you know, uh, that symbol right there. So he can do it. He can remove her out of office. Trump and Putin can't. He'll tell you he better than Putin.
To give
Listen, if Putin can't do nothing and he can, then you had something going on here. You're gonna have to pay attention. I'm just okay. I'm just saying. I don't vote. I don't vote. But if I'm gonna go ahead and I'm a vote on this one because you see, this is the last of the last, and so somebody was supposed to be coming after Trump, or right around this time to be like a real a creative society, like he said, and which is wonderful. And so I'm all for the creative society for his, because he's gonna have it to where we're gonna make room for nature. Okay, so and that is very important for you to make room for nature. So there's gonna be cities built, like different beautiful cities that's just gonna go upward because they have to go upward, and then to make room for nature. And so that's why I endorse this one here, because he's saying the right things. He really is.
back to the Americans. Not to keep it for myself, to take away your taxes, to force you to vaccinate, to force you into debt slavery, and to make as much money off you as I can. I am running for President of the United States of America to give power back to the people and build a creative society worldwide. I am running for President of the United States of America to be the first president of the people and the last president of America. Yes, you heard right. The last president of America. Why? Because I will give all the power back to the people. Without a creative society, no matter who you elect or appoint, there will still be lawlessness, corruption will continue to flourish, and political parties will continue to fight each other.
See,
things will only get worse.
Yes, because you don't have something. You have to have somebody different. You got to have somebody different that is different, really different. Just different. That have morals. That don't want someone that is unnatural on the planet. That don't want someone who is immoral on the planet that continue to ruin you. You don't want that, and that's what he's trying to say. He's trying to say, don't you want what you need to have? If you're claiming your rightful land, you need to have that. That's yours. It's your right. But I'm gonna get off this. I'm gonna leave a link here so you can see. But I just wanted to show you my wonderful book that I got in the mail today. Ooh, and shout out to my Patreon members. Thank you, Patreon members, and I really appreciate. Now, if you want to see my Telegram, you have to be my Patreon member. I mean, because I show videos that you need to see on my Patreon, and then you support me, because I have to. The movie script. Now, I sent my movie script to Studio Binder. I forgot to tell you, it's very important. Main thing. Okay, so I sent it to Studio Binder. It's a movie script that I created, and it's really funny, but it's what's happening here, and it's what's going to happen, and it's all about creating the promised land. It's all about big mamas of the land claiming their rightful land through the city mayor's office. So they'll have the key to the city. Big mamas of the land will have the key to the city, and they would claim their rightful land through the city mayor's office, because they claim the city mayor's office because it's theirs, to create what communities they want to build anywhere in their state, because you have to do that through the city mayor's office. Why? Because they're the ones that has your water pipes, your water, your food, your grocery store. They control everything that you need. Your housing is the city mayor. So if it's poison, lead being it's the city mayor's office. You have to get a hold of that in order for them to bring the contractors to your neighborhood to create the school that's abandoned, to make it beautiful. make like if there's abandoned school in your area or a building, anything, you can make that a carnival or a theme park of education, of recreational. It could be water. You can have a water slide park. You can have a water slide park. You can have anything. You know what I'm saying? And the contractors in your community through the city mayor's office have to give you that right. They got to give you set up the white tent. You have your table right here, and you'll have 6 or 7 contractors asking you what you want to do. That's how it is. That's how it works. City contractors, city mayors will bring the city contractors to build your building, your housing. It could be maybe you want to run an apartment building like mine. I have 13 units here, and then there's 13 units over there, and so this building have 13 units, and so beautiful condominium homes going this way and that way and this way in one unit. So one woman can own this building, like right where I am, because that's why I own my building here. Another woman can own her building there, and it's this beautiful apartment that you own and you put your family there. So if you have family that are homeless, they won't be. You move them right in. There's 13 different units. So 13 different units here. And just as far as the eye can see, it's beautiful condominiums surrounded by lush plush nature. And you're in a theme park. This is where I'm going to build it here because I claimed it. And he can help do that. But you have to, I guess, vote for him and endorse him and, like just vote for him, I guess. And that's how you do it. And you say, oh, well, look at him. Because that's what I'm doing. I'm saying, oh, look at him and look at what he's saying. So you should do the same. Oh, look at him. Because I got that from Dominique on my Telegram. Dominique said, ooh, I vote for him. And I at first I looked at it. I'm like, ooh, I don't like that American music, that dun 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 dun. But then this is what he's attracting. He's attracting those people to vote for him because they have to vote for him. Because if they vote for anybody like Trump or Biden, they're gonna lose. They're gonna, but if they vote for him, at least they'll get some sort of help in getting what they need to get in their area and their smart cities that only goes up. Okay, so let me get off this thing here because they're going to be creating smart cities that, it can't spread across the land because that means the concrete is going to be kicked up around here. Airports is going to be shut down, because it's time to make room for nature. This is what it's all about. The Georgia Guidestone says it, and I am a big advocate for the Georgia Guidestones. Because you got to make room for nature. And it's very important that they do that. Oh, my hair is just my poofy hair. Sorry, I'm having a bad hair day today, so I'll just put on my hat. Okay, so let me get off this, and I'll make a video later, but I just wanted you to see that I rightfully bid it and claim my land. And it doesn't matter if they say, oh, we don't want you to have it. Oh, it doesn't matter. You still got to get out of office, and it's still, you see, it's mine. So I already claimed it. So I'm just, for you, it's just tick tock, tick tock. For me, I'm just comfy cozy, with the popcorn, okay, and juice, looking at you being about to be removed. Literally, I'm serious. So this is what's happening with me. I'm comfy cozy. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me. I'm just waiting for you guys to be removed, and you guys will be removed eventually. You will be. So Man-Face, Karen, Takashi, all you, the apartment manager, and everybody here will be removed and put where they're supposed to be because I'm supposed to put my people here, so that we can create the promised land in other states. So that's what I do. I'm the creator of the promised land to where I claim this here to start the promised land here for other states to have for other states to have their promised land. And Oakland would have the promised land there, and all the way up and down California, 7 to 13, and then they will be able to go to Utah, Texas, Oklahoma, because that's where my father was removed from, in Stillwater, Oklahoma, coming out of Tulsa. So this is what I'm saying. Like I have the Urban Renewal Commissioner removing my grandfather and injuring him on his land because the city is saying, we're taking your land. And this is just what it is. On the deed there, I already showed you my other. Now, if anybody who is in Congress who is interested in looking at these deeds and doing an investigation like Governor Gavin Newsom, if you want to do an investigation to prove what I'm saying is true, then all you got to do is contact me. Say, email me and say, hey, could you give me those papers that you're talking about? the deeds so I can see, yes, you can have all the deeds and see all of them. You get a copy of them and through the email that I'll send you through email. And then you have to get a hold of this mayor here so she can give me a letter of congratulations. Congratulations, Catherine. You rightfully bid it for the land. It's yours. We're going to go ahead and accommodate you and having the contractors get in contact with you within a week, because that's how long it takes. It takes about a week for them to come out and be right here with the big, huge white tent and the table, just like they do everybody else. I'm just saying. It's just important to do what you're supposed to do, or you're gonna be removed eventually anyway. But it'll be in the worst way, because everybody's gonna see you on national TV just being removed, and it's gonna look real ugly. But now I have a movie now to my Patreon fans out there. Fans? What am I saying? Fans? I mean subscribers. Anyway, I'm a fan of you guys. Shoot, my Patreon members. So I did my film script, and yes, they're going to bite. And they're going to do this film, and so I'm going to need some big mamas to be in the movie too. So, I'm going to be contacting you, just saying, can you kind of be in this movie for me, please? Because, we have to confiscate our land. It has to be in the film first so everybody can see how big mamas can confiscate their own place. But you don't have to do it in the mayor's office. Of course not. You can simply just confiscate your building by saying, well, I changed my locks. So I'm just going to write a little paper telling the mayor that, I changed my locks. Yeah. So you cannot send no evict, because I don't pay rent. I don't pay rent. I don't pay rent. I stopped paying rent in 2019 when Trump said not to. He was on stage with Fauci, and they said, well, you can't pay rent as long as they saying virus and all that. And, you can't pay no rent. And then on top of that, they calling out reparations. You really can't pay no rent. So you just have to send a letter to your local mayor saying, well, I just confiscated my building by changing the locks. And that's it. So I changed mine. I don't pay rent anyway. So people they say, oh, well, I'm a god, and people would say things that they call themselves a god, and and I'm this and that. But it's like, well, you can never be a god if you gotta pay rent. You can never be. I ain't never heard no God paying rent. I've never heard of that. You a God. Well, I'm a God, but yeah, I gotta pay this monthly rent. Shoot, man, I gotta pay for food and water and all that. You not a God if you gotta do all that. Shit, if somebody tells you to pay rent and you don't want to, then you're something else. Okay. So let me get off of this here and let you know that I don't pay rent, and I claim my land, and I rightfully claimed it publicly to the city mayor and the courts and everybody involved. So they already know that this is mine, and you're eventually going to have to hand it over. Okay. Or it's going to hand you over. Okay. So shout out to my Patreon members, and I will leave a link. And yes. Okay.